Hi everyone, I'm Gina Kay from Gina Kay Designs and your host of Stamp TV. I'd like to welcome you to our release party presentation. Tonight you will get to see many of the new products being released, including 6 new clear stamp sets and 3 new incentive stamp set duos. At any time, feel free to click on the links below the screen to play along with our contest questions, our challenge, and to see all of the stamp sets in full along with the beautiful samples created by our design team especially for you. If you're the partying type, we have a party chat thread going strong where you can hang out with the design team and me from now until 9 p.m. Central Time. And the best news is, all of the products are already available in our store at GinaKayDesigns.com, so you don't have to wait to place your order. So sit back, relax, and enjoy tonight's release party presentation. I'm so excited to show you the new stamp sets that we've released tonight. We have 6 brand new clear stamp sets and 3 new incentive stamp set duos. Let's start off with the new set by Tammy Mayberry called Winter Blocks. Winter Blocks is the sister set to one of Tammy's best sellers, Block Greetings. With 4 bold block stamps, perfect for tag making, focal images for greeting cards, and journaling cards for scrapbook pages and Project Life, this set will take you through the holidays and through the winter months. The new Let It Snow stamp set by Teresa Momber is filled with beautiful images that can be colored or stamped with colored ink. This set will help you create beautiful holiday cards and spectacular winter backgrounds to use as backdrops for card projects and scrapbook pages throughout the winter season. Beyond Baskets 2 is the newest stamp set in Melanie Menchinger's Basket series. Fill these bags and boxes with holiday images or use them to create the perfect gift card holder for holiday gift giving, birthdays, and more. Scratched Shapes is the newest stamp set by Beth Saleka. Use these trendy images and big bold greetings to create all-occasion cards to wrap up just in time for holiday gift-giving season. Or stamp these shapes in pale-colored inks and stamp other small images on top to create perfect little frames for any card project. Poster Board Christmas is the newest stamp set in the Poster Board series by Becky Ohlers. These beautiful large frames, mixed with festive greetings, make the perfect focal image when used with holiday pattern papers to create elegant, quick and easy holiday cards for everyone on your list. Christmas Joy, the newest stamp set by Rupa Shevda, contains trendy modern versions of classic Christmas images. Mix these images with Rupa's joyful greetings, and you'll have the perfect holiday card for everyone on your list. This month, we have 3 brand new incentive stamp set duos that will give you some fabulous additional winter images to blend into your holiday stamp collection. This month, when you spend $25, you'll get the Snowflake stamp set duo. This huge snowflake can be stamped in vibrant color or embossed in metallic or glittery embossing powder to help you create beautiful winter backgrounds and perfect holiday and winter gift tags. If you spend $50 this month, you'll receive the Snowflake Duo along with the new Wrapped in Love stamp set duo. This beautiful image can be used for the holidays, but it's also a perfect image and greeting for anyone with a winter birthday. And if you spend $75, you'll receive all 3 of these beautiful incentive stamp set duos, including the new You Melt My Heart stamp set duo. This adorable penguin can certainly be used for the holidays, or winter friendship cards, and even Valentine's Day cards. Try paper piecing his hat and scarf with some Valentine's Day pattern paper, and he will melt the heart of your Valentine. And remember, once you've earned all 3 of these stamp set duos, if you place an additional qualifying order before our next duos are released, choose any duos you like by typing in the name of the duo in the special instructions box along with a note that you already have this month's incentive stamps, and we'll be happy to increase your collection of free stamps. You don't have to put these incentive stamps in your cart at checkout. They'll automatically ship with every qualifying order. These beautiful stamp sets are now available in our online store at GinaKDesigns.com, and you can find them in the What's New category. Tonight's release party project features the new stamp set by Rupa Shevda called Christmas Joy. Christmas cards don't have to be time-consuming to be elegant and stylish. I'm going to show you a simple and elegant layout that's easy to mass produce that everyone on your list will love. Let me show you the tools and products you're going to need to make this project. First, you're going to need some stamps, and I have the Mother and Child stamp from the Christmas Joy stamp set, and I have a greeting here that says, "Love was born on Christmas Day." Then, you're also going to need some dies, and the ones that I'm using are 2 of the Spellbinders Classic Ovals dies. Now, you can use an electronic cutter like the Silhouette, or you can use paper punches, or any kind of dies that you have. You're going to need some Versamark ink or other type of embossing ink. I'm also going to use an anti-static pad, so you should have one of these to remove any static or oil from the surface of your card so that your embossing powder only sticks to the ink and not to the rest of the card. Here's a little bit of our beautiful gold line ribbon, and this is our ivory gold line ribbon. I'm going to be using that for this project, along with some superfine detail gold embossing powder by Ranger. Then I have a Swiss Dot Cuttlebug folder, some 1/4-inch pop dots, some adhesive, and a pair of scissors. Now for cardstock, I'm going to use some of our ivory cardstock. I'm using the layering weight for the focal image and for the first layer, and then I'm using the heavy base weight for the card base. I'm also going to use some of our dark chocolate as a little bit of accent color for this project. So to begin, I'm going to start by rubbing this anti-static pad over the surface of this piece of cardstock. And then I'm going to ink up the Mother and Child image using some Versamark ink. Now the first time you use a stamp out of our package, you might just want to give it a little bit of extra ink just to make sure it's all covered. And once you've inked it up and used it and cleaned it, it'll take way less time to ink it up. So I'm going to start by stamping that right here in the middle of this piece of ivory cardstock. And then I'm going to grab just a little piece of scrap paper here that I folded in half to catch my embossing powder, and I'm going to use some of this gold embossing powder and pour that over that Mother and Child image. And you can see how nice that embossed, how clear it is. And you want to just blow away any excess. I'm going to, let me put this back into the jar first so I don't heat this by accident. I'm going to use my heat tool, and I'm going to emboss this. And you want to be careful not to burn the embossing powder, but just to heat it until it comes up a nice shiny gold. Now this will warp the paper a little bit, but that's okay. And one little trick to help warp it back the other way is to heat it from underneath once you're done. Just adding a little bit of heat underneath kind of takes away some of that warping. But you can see that is just so nice. Just do that underneath there, and that'll help straighten it out just a little bit. And you can see how pretty that image is, how shiny it is, all done in gold. Very elegant. Now we're going to emboss another little piece here. Here I have a piece of cardstock in the ivory, but this is cut to size, so I know where I need to center my greeting. This is cut to 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. Now I'm going to use the anti-static pad again, and I'll rub it all over just because I don't want to deal with embossing powder sticking anywhere, although I'm only going to stamp at the bottom. So I'm going to ink up my greeting with some Versamark. Let me grab my glasses here so I can see a little bit better. So we've got that all inked up. And now I'm going to stamp that right at the bottom in the center of this piece of cardstock. And I want to make sure that I get it pressed down nice there. And there is my greeting. Now I'm going to grab that same little piece of paper that has some leftover embossing powder on it, and once again I'm going to sprinkle some embossing powder over that area. And there you can see is my greeting. Let me just blow away the excess. And if you have anything that's stuck, you can wipe it away, and if it's too close to an image for you to wipe it with your finger, grab a tiny little paintbrush and you can just brush away any excess. So we'll put the rest of that embossing powder away and close that up. Now I'm going to emboss the greeting. And again, I want to be careful not to burn it, but I do want to make sure that it's completely embossed or it will just brush away. So when you see it turn gold and then the gold smooths out, that's when it's completely done. So there we go. Now you can see there is my finished greeting. Now for my next step, I want to grab my Score Buddy, and you could use a score pal or any other scoring device that you might have in your collection. And I want to, leaving this to the right side of the Score Buddy, I'm going to create a line, and I want to have enough space there, so I might just shift it down a little bit, and I'm going to score it right on that 4 1/4 inch line. Like that. I just want to create a line there. And that's going to be a dividing line because now I'm going to emboss using a Cuttlebug embossing folder the top part of this card, but that will leave my greeting nice and crisp and I don't want to emboss over that. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab my Cuttlebug because now we're going to do a little bit of cutting. And I'm going to use my A and B plate. And then I'm going to grab this Swiss Dot Cuttlebug folder. And I want to place this piece of cardstock into the Cuttlebug folder, and using that score line to judge where the end of the dots should go, I'm going to position that. And of course, I like it to be nice and centered. So that looks pretty good. There we go. And I'm going to lay that in there. Now I'm going to put the other B plate on top and I'm going to emboss that. And you can see how pretty that looks when just part of it is embossed and then the bottom is left plain. And that line tells me where the embossing should take place. Okay, so now I'm going to cut out my focal image, so I'm going to leave that A and B plate on there, and I'm going to grab the smaller of the two oval dies and position that where I want it. And then I'm going to use the C plate this time to cut that out. And you can see that's still a little bit warped. So it might fall out of my oval here. I'm going to try to keep it in there and flip it over. And then I would like to emboss it by putting the rubber mat on top. And then the other B plate. And then I always use a piece of chipboard as a shim just to make it a little bit tighter, but your Cuttlebug may not need that. So try it first without the shim, and then you'll see if you need it. And that created a nice embossed edge around the perimeter of that focal image. So we're going to do one more cut. We're going to take a piece of the dark chocolate cardstock and the larger oval, and we're going to cut that out using the C-plate on top. So when you're mass producing a card like this, just cut a whole bunch of ovals, emboss a whole bunch of focal images, and then lay everything out, and then once everything is out, you can start assembling the cards one after the other after the other. That's the best way to mass produce. Okay, so now it's time to assemble this card. Now I have an ivory card base here, and I have a piece of the dark chocolate cardstock that I'm going to adhere that panel that I created on top. But before I do that, I'm going to grab the Score Buddy again, and now I'm going to flip that over because I can see where that line is now, and I'm going to press that line out the other way. This way all of my embossing is coming toward the front of the card. None of it is recessed. And that was easy. So now I'm going to adhere this panel onto this dark chocolate panel. And once you get all those pieces cut out and ready to go, the assembly of these is very, very quick. And what I like about this card is there's a little bit of interest with the embossing and the Cuttlebug folder, and we're going to add a little bit of this ribbon and stuff like that, but it's not bulky, so it's not going to cost extra to mail a card like this. This is going to go right across the center, and I'll use the dots to line it up to make sure it looks straight, because if it doesn't look straight it'll drive me nuts, but the dots will help me make sure that it looks straight. Put that piece there, and then I can turn it over and line it up. Then I'm going to adhere the focal image of the mother and child onto that dark chocolate oval that I cut out earlier. This may need just a little bit of extra tape to help it lay flat. So those two pieces are going to go together like that. And now this focal image is going to go on top, but before I do that, I am going to adhere this to my card base. And again, I use the ivory heavy base weight cardstock for my card base, and we have beautiful ivory envelopes that match perfectly with our ivory cardstock. So if you're looking for nice holiday envelopes, we have them in both white and ivory, and you know you're going to get a perfect match. So now I have the card base ready for the focal image, and I'm going to use some of these 1/4 inch pop dots, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom, to give this focal image just a little bit of zing or pop from the card, but not so much that it's going to create an envelope that's too thick to mail the regular way. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can just adhere it right onto your card base, but I kind of like those pop dots. They really give it a little bit of zing. And there is my finished card project. To make this card even faster, try using metallic ink instead of embossing powder, and a simple, elegant pattern paper instead of an embossing folder to create different variations of this clean and simple project. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's release party presentation video. The design team will be hanging around until 9 o'clock Central Time in the release party chat thread at the link below the screen. And the contests, challenge, and full stamp set reveal links will stay live until Monday when we choose the winners of our contest questions and our challenge. Those winners will each receive a grab bag of over a dozen deeply etched, pre-cut Gina K Designs rubber stamps. And now that you've learned more about these products, you can visit our store at www.ginaK-designs.com. www.ginakdesigns.com. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you back here soon on Stamp TV.